Hello and welcome back to F1 Manager 24, now getting towards the business end of Season 3, Singapore and 2 further races after that. Coming right at you today, 3 singular races, no sprints, the 2 being COTA and Mexico, in what will be a 1-week gap and then 2 back-to-back, somewhat awkwardly splitting up this block of 3, but the last one is a sprint race at Brazil, which will be in the next episode. The next episode of which will, of course, be the first one on the 1.9 patch, which was very much stealth announced. I actually bemoaned the lack of communication in literally the last episode, I think it was. And Frontier decided to just randomly, a couple of days later after I record, they go, hey, here's 1.9, it comes out Monday. And it's the feature update as well. It's not just the bug fixes, it's a feature update with a bunch of stuff that's mostly kind of going to be useful in the middle of the season. There's an engine, the way they pay for engines is changing rather than being the bulk thing of 20 odd million at the start of the season, which plunges you into debt. I've commented this elsewhere, but I've said it before. The reason why you go into debt is because sponsorship used to be part of the season changeover stuff, so you used to get money in as you spent the engine. It used to balance itself out in that regard, because now the sponsorship is 1 or 2 days later on the calendar. You pay for the engine and then 2 days later you get the sponsorship money. So you go into debt first and then you get the money that you would spend on the engine. Whereas in previous games they used to happen at the same time. That's how you fix that. You just put the sponsorship back in the season changeover. That would have solved the problem. But no, they've decided to make it a over the course of the year payment plan, which, as we know, they're really good at doing that kind of thing, he says, having forgotten to put 3 months in for the prize money that we're still not getting. However, they've still not actually announced the bug fix as part of this update yet, so we'll see if that's part of that, see if they finally fixed that problem. Nonetheless, the last update should have sorted everything out to do with contracts and things like that. Part of this new update is actually the game will tell you when people sign new drivers, etc. It will somewhat kill the end of season surprise stuff, but at the same time be more realistic. So I don't know really where I land on that one. It will at least prevent me from having to go and avoid looking at drivers just so I don't find out where they're going. Because if I get told in the news, then that somewhat takes that surprise away. So I will no longer hesitate clicking on people's profiles to see if I want to sign them or not. But yeah, like I say, I don't know if that's more of a surprising. I think it might work because it will be a surprise announcement to do as news happens. So let's say, for instance, Max Verstappen moved to McLaren next season, which would be his 3rd move in 3 years. We would get that news, say, now, and that would be great to surprise you with at the start of an episode, for instance. We've got 3 races to get through today, so we need to not start jabbering too long here. I've actually already clicked through to race day itself. News! Wind tunnel's fine. Weather centre's upgraded along with factory. Our drivers are actually developing the attributes they're not good at, which is a good thing. The suspension has been designed, is now being manufactured. I'm not going to get it on for this race. And as you remember rightly, the rear wing, front wing arrive in the interim, and we will have enough of them to put in there. You can see actually the first suspension arrives on qualifying day today. That's part of the change as well, part firme and starting from the pit lane. Next one comes literally a week later, and the next one comes during qualifying at COTA. So we will have 3 by COTA qualifying, and by my estimates we will have 3, because it's about 3 days for front wing and rear wing, we'll have 3 of those for qualifying day at COTA. So we'll be able to acclimatise to them in practice, and then we'll be able to use them for qualifying and the race. Fingers crossed. And considering recent results... Oh, Singapore's wet. St. Maloney has the lap record here, coming off the back of 2 wins in a row. If he likes this track specifically, this could be really fun. And of course we'll have an improved car for the next 2 races after that. I don't think we'll win Singapore. There's a really good chance we do really well at all the remaining 6 after that. 7 if Bahrain works. But nonetheless, we're still horrendous here apparently. We might actually have the worst car on the grid. We're not winning this one. I'm still going 80th and high because there's crashes. Okay, had to play it somewhat smartly to get through that one with as much acclimatization without burning intermediate tyres, because I think I'm going to need them. It says exactly 1mm to start this first part of Q1. I don't know which way this is going to go. It gets wetter. Let's get out there immediately. I do suspect everyone will come out. Everyone did come out, but they weirdly came out all at the same time, about 20 seconds later than us and Bottas. I don't think we'll catch them, but it was weird. Also, thankfully, they didn't come in accidentally of their own accord. Oh dear, that's not good. Mix out. Maybe we aren't good here then. There's no point going again. It's not going to be drier than this. There's a tactical choice to give him a new ERS to be made here. Especially as of tomorrow, that would be a pit lane start. Whereas this time he'll just be back at the grid. Podium to immediate elimination in Q1 is not fun though. Once again, dry at the start. Oh, I say, we'll just wait for one person to go this time. No, first Carlos Sainz has just started his lap, so there's nobody we're going to get caught on. This time it was weirdly like two people at the end that got detached from the main bulk of drivers, so I don't really know what's going on with this session. It's also impossible to keep the tyres in temperature for an entire lap, because you either start them early and they get boiling by the end of it, or you start them late and they're not warm enough by the time you start the lap, which I think is more detrimental. But around the final corner, 136.7. I actually have genuinely no idea how good that is. It's not the best because I've seen purples elsewhere. It's 13th. It's not great. And once again, it gets wetter. Yep, I think we're going to have to take some pain in this particular Singapore Grand Prix. It's not our track. I don't know why it's not our track, but it's not our track. Because we should be good in low-speed corners, and that's basically what Singapore is. 3 DRS zones would have helped us. Well, that was a brief qualifying. I'm sorry, Yuki Tsunoda's on pole. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? Moderate rain, track water 4 millimeters. That's wet. Okay, so it is wet, like literally wet to start with, but then it's the entirely intermediate race. Good job, we saved them then, isn't it? 2 on that. Why would you just not do 2? Don't understand that. Yeah, it's faster by a mile. Obviously go on 2. See, this is the ERS situation, by the way. I think 40% is the threshold for it being a problem. This is obviously the one I used in practice. This is the one I use in the races these days. I think it would survive. There's only 6 more races, or 7 if Bahrain works. I think it would just survive, but it would be borderline. And we do have the money. I'm going to do it because there's not really, I mean, as of this point in time, there's not much of a downside. As of today, by the time this goes live, pit lane start that'd be. Not going to go ham and get him every single car park, because the other ones, I think he can get away with all the other ones for the rest of the season.
Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be in for a tightly contested race.
Well, they're in P7, so not necessarily where they'd like to be. Could be a challenge, all right.
But just what will happen here, your guess is as good as mine. We're just moments away from the Singapore Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Oscar Piastri's 7th would have been a great chance for Carlos Sainz if he didn't have a penalty. Carlos Sainz started 13th, he's now 14th, but now he's gone the other way from 12th to 11th. On the inside of Daniel, actually no, he's on the inside of Hauger. I'm looking at Mick, of course. He's got Daniel Ricciardo. Sainz has got himself back past Djokovic, so he's all right. Stays 13th. But on the back of Albon, there's Piastri alongside another vehicle ahead. Officially moves straight into damp territory. I would suspect, by the way, that every AI driver is going to do 2 intermediates like they did at Monza. I mean, that helps. As Vessi, I think, just clocks the wall again. Sargent's just stationary. Just go round him, lads. Just go round him. Drive around him. Right, Logan, what have you done? Oh, you've hit the inside barrier. You might be stationary, but just go around. Williams is go around. That could have been a safety car. That could have been a safety car. Go round, and then they could have got a crane on track to get that out of the way. Sorry, Maloney starts 10th. Oh, I might as well put on a new one. I'm going to presume. I mean, it is 11th. I don't know why he told me he starts 10th.
A sense of deja vu here as the drivers once again face the countdown.
Tell me, Crofty. Right, off we go again. Lap 3 now officially. Interestingly, I remembered everything was on deploy except for the tyres. Do like the fact that it's given Maloney another chance to get around another vehicle off the start though. 10th now on the cards. Sainz has fallen to 15th temporarily there. Did that one hit Maloney? No. Sounded like there was a thwack somewhere. Porsche is struggling immediately, blimey. Right, Mick, I need you to get past Williams's. What is happening? I mean, this would be hitting the 2 hours. Oh, Lewis is having an absolutely bloody nightmare, isn't he? 3rd time's the charm, Zane. 3rd time's the charm. Get Albon this time, please.
We're ready to get this race underway again.
Even Crofty's fed up. Weirdly, I don't think Hauger got the penalty for the original one. Oh, Mick, thank you for getting somebody off the line. That's 18th. Once again, Maloney, this time actually making the move work. Don't you dare. Okay, which corner is it? Is it that corner or is it the next one? I think it might be this one here, this right-hander that keeps catching people. Sainz is 15th again. He's gone backwards again. Mick's got... I almost missed that replay now. It's this one here, isn't it? Nobody's side by side. We've got round it. Bloody hell, we'd be threatening the 2 hours on this one, wouldn't we, already? We've done, apparently, 5 laps in 40 minutes. Plus a couple. We've only secured 10th there. Sonoda's still leading, by the way, from Bottas and Stroll. Fuel-wise, by the way, absolutely smashing it. Everyone's going to be like 3 kilograms over. Fittipaldi's come from about 5 light years away. How have you let that happen? That's a bit shambolic. We've completed a lap, everybody. We've completed a lap. Flippin' heck. Talk about drive to survive. All right, we got Fittipaldi back at least. Oh, Maloney takes Russell. Actually, we'll watch that one. Ooh, the heady heights. Now Mick's past both Williamses. And he's on Vesti, who's apparently fixed his vehicle. Oh no, it was Hauger, of course, wasn't it? It was Hauger, although Vesti's now damaged. Was Vesti the one that was damaged by Sargent in the first place and Hauger was taken out by... Well, was it different Alpines? So obviously I think front wing was damaged with Vesti, but they could change that under a red flag. I think Mick learned there. He went around the outside. I think he did what was done to him. Essentially 2 complete laps. Oh, what now? Maloney's taken Verstappen. I'm really looking at the wrong person here, aren't I? That was ballsy. All right, so what's happened here? I want to see if the accident was in that replay, but no. Oh, it's Fittipaldi in the back who's just decided to bin it, apparently. Can't fail our objective. Unless we... Actually, even if we crash, we're 18th now. Can't fail our objective. Apparently, he just can't take that corner. Sometimes he overtakes someone there by doing what he did. Sometimes he crashes. He just doesn't know where the braking point is, apparently. Well, this way, we're not actually going to need to change our tyres. I can't imagine it'll be a long safety car because we're all caught up already. Gone round once, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes straight in. I'm surprised it hasn't gone straight in. Okay, we've just gone around twice for no apparent reason. But don't get me wrong, I'm happy. We've got a full battery now. I genuinely thought it was about to go around again. Safety car is now officially ending and we're now above fuel. It's lap 11. I took 5 laps out. I don't think we've done 5 racing laps. It's 51 minutes past and we've done 11 laps. It's kind of actually more 3 and 2 halves. Probably about 4 laps total. I watched Maloney because he's in 7th. Gasly's up to 9th. Don't think I didn't notice that, Gasly. I say up to 9th. He probably started in the top 10. I've just missed the overtake of Maloney on him. Oh, a bit of shenanigans in the front there as Bottas and Stroll, I think that was, get a bit friendly. Everyone survived. But off we go again. Again. Danger corners coming up. When everyone's bunched together, it could cause a problem. At least for front 7, nobody was side by side there. Just check behind. Yeah, everyone's through as well. Porsche and the Haas is still 4th as well. Yeah, Mick's now actually trying to overtake competent cars. He's where he's qualified anyway, 16th. Well, he qualified 17th. He was ahead because of Hamilton's penalty. But originally. It's a valid point. We've had 50 minutes of this race already. Okay, he does stay intermediate the entire race, despite that. Could have changed the weather. Sainz and Ricciardo really aren't doing anything in this race so far. Nicely aggressive there, Mick, for somebody with medium aggression, I want to say. Oh, that delta was entirely wrong. I said 1.6 for Russell there, but it's cut that right in half immediately. Mick might be about to make a move on sights. And the Sainz's championship hopes might be about to go, I was about to say, up in flames, up in smoke, but wouldn't catch light in this weather. But that Sainz back down to 15th again. Both our drivers overtaking the championship contenders. It's still Piastri's to lose at this stage, but with a few more points, no matter how few they are, it's only going to make it easier. I don't really know what to do with the extra fuel here, because we're always going to end up with more fuel than we need, because otherwise we risk the engine overheating if we don't come off it. Well, he's facing the wrong way. Are they just going to reset Nico Hülkenberg here rather than give a safety car or anything? Yeah. Poor Albon just caught in the middle of that. It's a free position for Mick. Yeah, they have just reset Hülkenberg, I think. I think being in a train isn't helping either with temperatures. The Hülkenberg situation did split this pack up, though. Drogovic is now separated. Albon had to pit, I think. Slate getting the overtake successful message, just as Mick doesn't overtake on Drogovic as well. Why do we do it in synchronization? Why does our drivers overtake drivers on exactly the same time as each other? It's like anything you can do, I can do better. As Mick actually forces Drogovic off. But he's now 1 place outside the points, is Mick, having started last. Meanwhile, Maloney's on... Oh no, he'd already overtaken Leclerc. That was Leclerc getting him back again. Yeah, actually, the burn rate of these tyres is a little bit more than in States. It's going to go 2 times to see if we can actually make this stick. Yes, we can! There's Piastri joining the party behind. Did well to keep that out of the wall, really. I think we're going to have to come off aggression here. Oh, Tsunoda's fallen to 4th. Meanwhile, Bottas leads, surprisingly. Porsche is up to 3rd in the Haas. I mean, the differing fortunes of the Haas drivers today. The thing is, I can't push the fuel. Even though we've got extra fuel, our engine is already too hot. immediately decided, I want to see if pushing the fuel actually makes a difference, though. Bear in mind, our tyres are overheating as well, just because we've been burning them for ages. I mean, Maloney's on another bloody planet right now. Just absolutely mugs Yuki Tsunoda off there. Round the outside. Round the outside. Yeah, go on, you can have that line this time. Absolutely mugged him off. As much as it's damaging the engine, I think it is worthwhile burning the fuel. Is Mick on the verge of... He is on the verge of a point here. He is staying in range of George. Leclerc now holding... Tsunoda now holding up Leclerc and Piastri, which is great news from Bazane. We actually are burning fuel, despite the fact of it being wet. Interesting that Maloney's pushing right now and not burning engine-wise. But because Mick's in Russell's gearbox, I'll tell him to drive in clean air. See if that helps the engine. Temperature has gone down, but so has Mick. And now he's been overtaken. Right, of course. It is worth saying, regular pushes kind of got him to where they should have been rather than the fall. And Mick's challenging again now. I'll just see it burning. Right, I want to clear Djokovic here because clean air is clearly key to maintaining everything here. We are due to pit the same lap. Obviously, there's a huge gap on track between our two drivers, so just burn what's remaining of these tyres, Zane. I think Mick might be about to make the move here. On the inside. Oh, they'll push him on the outside of this corner. Oh, we're through. We're through. Out of curiosity, to leader. It would be clean air when he comes out. By a good solid about 5 or 6 seconds, it would be clean air. Hulkenberg's clearly damaged. Well, that is to leader. I suppose if he was like severely wounded, then it would take him a while to get the pits. So he's not a minute off the previous car. I was considering rear wing issues, but clearly got a big issue somewhere because he's fallen behind even Albon. Okay, so we've got the gap now to Djokovic as well. So I'll come off the fuel as well, just to get the engine temps down. As I look at the wrong driver. All right, don't tell me to pit then. Out of curiosity, everyone else's tyres. Everyone else is trying a one-stop. Apart from Djokovic, evidently. Tsunoda's also questionable. I generally thought everyone else would be on a two-stop, like they were at Monza, even though the game suggested one-stop. Because what's fascinating is, we've hit this at 3, so they're clearly conserving their tyres, rather than just being neutral. They're actively conserving like the strategy that was presented to us originally. Go next lap, Zane. Actually, no, just go this lap. Because it's not the same lap as Mick. They absolutely burn them. I think 50% for you is perfectly alright. Watch there be an incident now. And Mick would have to do it all over again. At least we get on the DHL pit stop anyway. There's only about 4 people on it if nobody else pits. How the hell have we come out behind Albon? How long is a pit stop here? I thought it was 20-something seconds. I think Alex closed in. Yeah, it was only 11 seconds behind before. I think a couple of people closed in there. Because the gap to Alex was well over 20-odd seconds and now we're behind him. Okay, well, you're going to have to clear him quickly, Mick. Only pitting takes him 13th. That's not a good spot. Again, that's not a great spot. Just a yellow flag is Ricciardo and Djokovic. I did say watch there be an incident. We'll make it through Alex, not without any fuss, really. I know he's got work to do. And he's not... Oh, he is doing it. Clearing Russell's the big job. Clearing Ricciardo's the big thing that's going to give us the space, though. Alright, so Mick's got his temperature down. Only problem is he's now in a train again. Push the fuel, Zane. Push the fuel. Need to keep deploying there, Mick. Yep, both drivers, please cool your tyres. So people are pitting now. Still only a yellow flag, but it's Ricciardo again. I think it's the same corner he just had his accident, actually. I think it's exactly the same corner, but Ricciardo's now... The Porsche's pitted and come out directly ahead of Maloney. That's the time saved. The undercut. Problem is now Porsche's come out ahead of Maloney with 7% better tyres. Tsunoda's going to have to pit. So that's a free place. But he came out directly ahead of Maloney just as Maloney caught Russell as well. So I kind of always want to let Porsche deal with the overtakes first now. Never mind, Porsche's crashed. Is that involving us? No, that's involving Tsunoda. He'd already got past Russell, but Maloney hadn't. Right, so I need Maloney to make the move now, because I think there's a gap. There is. In fact, he already has made the move. He's going for it now, in fact. And because Tsunoda's heavily wounded, he's got to go in the pits. He had to pit anyway, because he was running out of tyres, but does that count as the Russell overtake as well? Yeah, I think it does. So he kind of did that of his own accord, separately, without me doing anything. So it's back to 7th for Zane. It's whether or not these other guys' tyres will actually reach the end of the race. Sykes hasn't pitted, he's up to 9th. Oh, Mick did fastest lap, that's cool. Which is good as well, because somebody in the back did one, I think. Porsche having to pit a second time shoves him well out of the points, unfortunately for him. Vesti's on the verge of a point for Alpine if someone has a problem up here. Presume he's got to pit as well, though, if everyone else does, yeah. This is a baffling thing, like people like Magnussen keep doing random fastest laps. Maloney's got it back, though. He's only marginally above temperature-wise here, so this is why I think he's okay. I'll come back off the tyre, though, and I'll come back on for Mick. There's Gasly ahead. He's only got 8 seconds to find, has Maloney, to get back to where he started in terms of when he pitted. And he's going to meet them with 20% better tyres. God, they really are looking after their tyres. They've barely gone down in... They were 60-something then, now they're still 50, high 50s. They're really looking after these. So you haven't got any ERS to burn, unfortunately, here, Zane. this is all going to be whether or not you can overtake him. Ooh. Did Gasly move over there? Minor front wing. I might just see what the lap times are like before we pick, because it's 5 seconds back to Russell. If he can keep going, it doesn't seem to be dropping right off Gasly there. Oh, never mind about Vesti. He's dropped to 12th now. No penalties given for the incident. Mick doing 1:42.6s. Sainz doing 1:43.6s. 1.8 seconds the gap between them. Yeah, but he's still sticking to the back of Gasly here and has passed him. All right, call them back down again, Mick. Call everything back down again. Same with you, Zane. Actually, he's overtaken Sainz after I've told him to come off everything. Because of course he has. I was like, you've caught him, cool things down, and then we'll go for it in a couple of laps. But no, of course he does it the second I take him off everything and speed things up again. 9th for Mick. He started 20th. No, 22nd actually, of course. Forgot about the extra 2 cars. Of course, that, you know, we are. Gasly has damage of his own accord now as well, apparently. Yeah, it's not really hurting Maloney too much. It's keeping him on par with the leader's pace, but it would obviously cost him more to pit at this stage because it put us back down here again in probably 11th at best. Actually, of course, yeah, because you have to change the front wing and put him behind Albon probably. 15 laps to go though. Hopefully we can just see this out. In fact, actually Mick's on the back of Russell and making that move straight away as well. Hasn't really got his temperatures down yet and makes the move immediately. Honestly, I wish I'd seen this. Remember rightly, Russell had a go at Mick once upon a time. Well, there we go. Not going to help matters, is it? Okay. Temperature on the engine's back down again. Push that fuel. Temperature on the engine's back down. Push that fuel. Hey, he's slowly closing still on the 2 Ferraris. It's Mick's turn to try and deal with Gasly, and he's doing it in the same place. Thankfully, he's ahead this time, so Gasly can't drive into him. In fact, he forces Gasly off instead. Clearly, there was a radio message saying, watch out for Gasly moving left randomly in the right-hand turn. So he positioned himself so he couldn't do that. Good work, Mick. 11 laps to go. Burn the extra again. Zane will catch the Ferraris. Just wish we were around there by the time he gets there. Okay, we've actually burned the extra fuel there. Time for Mick to push again. As Porsche does fast. Of course, he's pitted again, hasn't he, Porsche? And Mick takes that straight back off him. Thank you very much, Mick. Maloney now back on the back of Leclerc. Verstappen's come through. Call those tyres off, Mick. Otherwise, you will catch Maloney before he gets through Leclerc. If he ever gets through Leclerc. I think we found his match here. Although if I deploy him, that solves that problem. 2.6 the gap to Mick now. Forgot I was actually deploying you there, Maloney, if I'm completely honest. 4 laps to go. How much are these tyres left? Destroy him, mate. Just destroy him. Get Leclerc, please. You're going to have extra fuel. Oh, Verstappen. Sorry. Maloney cleared to Verstappen. I didn't even notice. Bottas is going to win this race. Stroll's been with him the entire time, but I don't think he's ever been in the lead. It's been a Bottas masterclass up to this point. I think you can see that. By the giant red Ferrari. Okay, Mick, I'm just going to need you to deploy and make a move at your best opportunity. It's not your best opportunity. I feel like Maloney's set now. 2 seconds ahead of Verstappen. Round the outside, Mick goes there of Leclerc. Insane drive from last on the grid. Insane. Yeah, the tyres are obviously burned. How is everyone else's tyres, out of curiosity? They're down to the 40s in the most part. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Stroll go past on the last lap based on this tyre wear. Bottas has just had the edge the entire time, but tyre wear might kill Bottas on like the last lap. No more extra fuel. Might just tell you to come off these tyres, Mick. Deploy from here again. Attack from there, Mick. Get Verstappen on the final lap if you can. Burn the extra fuel. Porsche. Just so you can maintain the gap. Not Porsche, Maloney. Blimey. I was kind of hoping Mick would get close enough so I could put him ahead just by team orders, but it took him a little bit longer to get through the Ferraris than I thought. What's Verstappen's tyres? 1 sector to make it all, Mick. 1 sector. It's a bonkers drive, regardless if you make this move or not. What a race. Checker flag for the driver in front. Mick does the same thing to both Ferraris. Bottas holds on. Maloney with a broken ring. 4th. Mick from the back of the grid. 5th. 21st and 22nd, my arse. God knows what was up with qualifying, but because we're like one of 8 drivers to do a pit stop, we're guaranteed to be on the DHL list. And most of them had to change front wings. Awful race for Porsche and Tsunoda in the end. From pole, he's 15th. 4th and 5th is an insane achievement there. But congratulations, Valtteri Bottas. Race winner once again, this time for Aston Martin. First race win of the season takes him up to 10th in the championship, ahead of Porsche. Huge gap between Porsche, though, and Pierre Gasly. Big divide here between consistent top 10 drivers and everyone else. Russell, 19 points. Lewis Hamilton is pointless in the Ferrari. 5 DNF. Lewis is pointless in his Merc. How did I not know he was 19th in a Mercedes? I was sure he got a point somewhere. Drogovic with 1 point as well. What are they playing at? Even Logan Sargent has 3 in that Audi, which hasn't been great. Vesti has 2 in the Alpine. He's the only one with points in the Alpine, but he's got 2 in the Alpine. Hamilton's still 88 rated. There's no excuse for this. He's the same rating as George, for that matter. Who got fastest lap in the end, by the way? Kevin Magnussen in 14th. No, Mick actually started 20th. He didn't actually start last, apparently. Keeps Maloney ahead of Stroll, not by much. Keeps Mick ahead of Charles Leclerc. Technically, we're close on McLaren again. It's very much turning out into sort of an inverse real-world situation where third place could take the drivers' champion in the constructors. Yeah, we had two of the 3 fastest, and yeah, there were generally only 9 pit stops, which means Charles Leclerc gets a point by virtue of being Charles Leclerc. Okay, I don't know what defines this. Alphabetical first name, maybe. Well worth the 120 grand that we paid Mick to get 6th there, minimum. Well worth it. What a race. Still got 2 more to go. Lost rear wing and front wings there. Does not matter one jot, because we'll be getting new ones for the next race anyway. I actually think because we might have had a factory situation going on in the sponsorship plan which diminished it. I think we actually might be getting rear wings in the front. I think we might be getting the parts in faster because we've got 3 before race day itself. I mean, practice day itself, when they should have been coming in, I think, theoretically, on qualifying. So we've actually got 3 already, and the suspension's the other one. We've still got the 3rd one of this. So I put all the new bits on car 1, but not car 2, just to show you the difference. Top speed, 15th. It's not great, but it's bang on the average. DRS, 1st. Low speed, 1st. Dirty air tolerance, 1st. Tyre preservation, 1st. Engine cooling, 3rd now. Medium and high speed, 6th. Current overall ranking, 21st. Meanwhile, car 2 looks like this. So you can see the bottom mostly, medium speed as well. Those jumps. It's a negligible jump in high speed, but dirty air tolerance and tyre preservation from 16th and 20th to 1st in both, with just those 3 car parts. Man, the year after regulation changes are wild. And you can see the difference here on a track that favours medium speed, Abu Dhabi, the last one. 16th with the old specs. 5th with the... It's the same situation at Qatar, 6th and 15th. Not a huge difference, bizarrely, at Kota, because it's cornering high speed, low speed, which we were good at anyway. But we were going to be 1st and 2nd at Mexico, though. 3rd and 4th, presumably, at Brazil. Mick, this is your chance, mate. This is your chance. As more times pile in, the safer I feel, because there seems to be a hell of a lot of hindrance problems here. Hauger's been twice already and not improved on the 2nd attempt, so he's going a 3rd time right now. Baffling that they're in 7th. I think they probably got a slipstream off somebody, because Vesti is miles off. The interesting thing is both Ferraris and both Aston Martins are in the similar pack. Same with both McLarens, actually. Yeah, both Aston Martins are finished there. I think they're fine. Still fascinated to see what the... Okay, so Piastri's still in the mix. Ricciardo was held up twice. I was curious to see what was going on with these ones. Hamilton again. Charles Leclerc just sneaks it. Oh, Hauger's through, but he's got a penalty. Why is he saying night race as well? Okay, so we get through on 1 set of tyres. Crucial clean laps for us and crucial clean lap for Piastri as well. They can finally see what they're capable of. Obviously, used tyres for us. I have no idea what they did theirs on. Used as well by the looks of things. I've already changed the tyres, that's why I said 100% for this. Oh, red flag. We're through. It's Verstappen in a wall somewhere. Oh, that's why, because he's got to cross one of the S's. That's a hell of a crash. So will their car and so will the track, because the rubber's now gone. Yeah, I mean... Stay on those tyres, but I don't think we need to go again. We're 2nd or 4th on used tyres. It's now very low. The concern, of course, is faster vehicles who had hindrances might still be able to go faster. Race drivers like Hauger, Drogovic, Sargent, Gasly, Hulkenberg, it's 5 minimum, I feel relatively safe, won't go faster on a very low rubber track, regardless of anything. This is a risk for Mick, in particular, but I genuinely don't think anyone's going to go faster here. Oh, someone like Leclerc might. And I think the ones at the very back will, just not fast enough. Leclerc forced Sainz, I think. He's 15th. Max is out as well. He qualified 7th still. Now, track can't get any worse rubber-wise, so... And we can't be worse than 9th, thanks to Verstappen. Very worn tyres for a clean banker lap. I'm saving as many fresh tests as I possibly can for the race. Because if there's incidents and what have you, it's always good to have a lot of tyres here because of the deg rates. It's a very tyre-hungry track. So, having 2 softs in the bank, pretty good. Porsche goes early, annoyingly early. Try and think. If he can be on the in lap when we do our out lap, that would be great. With another 40 seconds to go, I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like I want to go now. Because obviously, taking control, we start pushing from a much earlier spot, so I don't think Porsche will even catch us. Well, going by with Maloney, we did indeed avoid Porsche catching us. So did a couple of other people, actually. He's actually got stuck on the back of an RB, which has to be Snowden because there's only one of them left. I feel like we're far enough behind those. They went before us, actually. They're on a flying lap, Hulkenberg and Bottas, that is. So I think everyone's done the final lap apart from Porsche now, who's just finished his in-lap. Oh no, he's let Tsunoda through again. So Tsunoda's lap's probably ruined. Maloney purple first. Hang on a second. Are we in the best situation possible here? We're in the best situation possible here. This is Piastri and Stroll. One of them's still gone faster, but they're fighting each other. So their time overall might not improve. Because Piastri's going to attack him on the straight. There's no way Piastri doesn't get a slipstream and try to overtake him because of the way the game works. What I want to see is that McLaren does move downwards and inside it. It's definitely trying an overtake. That's their lap ruined, in theory. Hulkenberg's done, Bottas is done. They didn't actually improve. But personal best for Mick, you would expect that. Very worn tyres. Personal best for Maloney and a purple second. Crucially, no purple second for Stroll or Piastri there. 2 tenths is the gap. Bit of a gap between him and Maloney on track, actually, a bit annoyingly. 4 tenths is the gap. Crucially, Piastri didn't even overtake, so he couldn't even drive away. I think they may have just ruined their laps. Piastri goes ahead of Stroll. Maloney might have pole here. Sainz still exists. Without traffic, without any fuss, Sainz still exists. Tsunoda's lap wasn't that ruined. He's gone 5th, annoyingly. Porsche's done, though. He's 8th. Sainz doesn't improve from 7th. But it's pole position, which is split his Q1 and Q2 times, despite the fact it's the worst track at that point in time. High deck track. What can we get away with here? Medium, hard, medium, but we have softs in the bank. I'm just fascinated to know, by the way, how a 3-stop looks here. 3 stops are exactly the same race time. The only thing I will say is I'll move those pit stops in up early. It's just traffic is the concern. Getting undercuts is always helpful. Meanwhile, Zane has the tyre wear capabilities to get away with soft, medium, medium. Only 1 second faster, though, weirdly. We'll still do it, but it's only 1 second faster.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. You and I won't be the only ones keeping an eye on Oscar Piastri, Karoo.
They're in second place on the grid, but that could so easily change in the first few seconds after lights out.
And the time has come. Let's go racing. Sit tight and get ready. It's the United States Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
So Zane has slightly outqualified the car there, considering it was supposed to be 5th and 6th here. McLaren getting a terrible start at Cota. He has managed to hold on to 2nd, but he seemed to be well out of sorts on the inside there. Mick's got Porsche straight away. Actually, Tsunoda and Mick have got Porsche straight away, I think. No, Stroll had a penalty. Stroll had a penalty. I'm trying to work out what's going on there. Stroll's in 12th. Mick's not moved anywhere. He just started 5th and I didn't notice. Relatively tame start, really. Although Stroll's gone backwards. Oh, he's on a hard tyre. So has Sainz, I notice. I think Porsche might have got Sainz because he was on that hard tyre. Gave him Mick a bit of breathing room early on, but that breathing room's gone now. As long as he can hold on those mediums, we might be okay. It's Piastri on a medium as well, he is. Oscar and Zane might separate off Bottas here, and they have indeed already. This could become a two-way fight between Oscar and Zane. As Mick goes to the inside of Tsunoda before the detection point, or during the detection point. Both had DRS anyway on Bottas, but this could cause a 2-in-1 overtake. It's just a 1, but it is Mick that's through, crucially. Probably worth actually taking them straight off as well, tyres. Piastri overtakes Maloney's not the highlight I want. And we don't get to see either of Mick's on a replay. Fun. Okay. Not very ERS intensive, is it? We've still got 50% on both drivers there. Okay, so Maloney and Piastri's going to be a back and forth by the looks of things. He's going back on the straight this time. Oh, excellent DRS at play. Don't forget we've got all of the upgrades here. So we are back to first in the old DRS, along with dirty air and tyre preservation. So this will be a backwards and forwards with Piastri. We're not shifting, and we're not shifting Bottas either, crucially. Tsunoda's kind of dropping off, but not enough that I feel safe. I almost kind of want to follow Bottas because he's on a soft tyre, if I can with Mick, but I have a feeling he might take some pain. Oh no, he stayed in DRS range. We're all right. Oh, Bottas has a mare there. What's this part of the overtake? Top of the hill, turn 1. Well, yeah, Mick's definitely done a Max Verstappen there, I think. He took the race in line. I have no idea where Bottas was in that equation, but he's now suddenly 8th. So I have a feeling that was Mick's fault. As is now... Oh, I can say Tsunoda's actually... The mixed medium tyres will come back into play. Safety car deployed. Maloney is there. It's way too early to pit. Oh, Mick's officially past the pit entry anyway. We didn't get to react in time. That's a little unfair. Just because I was on a faster speed at the time, I wasn't allowed to react in time. By the point it's told me a safety car's coming out, I'm beyond the pit. It's Lewis again. What is going on with Lewis Hamilton? No, it wasn't Lewis. You hit them. Sainz is the only one who hasn't pitted because he was on a hard tyre. I'm always tempted to leave Mick out because it's too early for him to do anything. There's no way to do this without doing an extra pit stop if he pitted now. I know it's a quicker pit stop, but he still has to do 2 pit stops no matter what. At this point, this is the issue though, because we now caught the safety car. I have to cancel it. We have to just go from here and hope they all crash again. We've been absolutely ruined because they've all caught the train now. Can't do anything about it. I have to cancel the pit stop and just go from here as if it was the normal and hope someone else crashes later on. But they've all got a free pit stop. We've been absolutely done in by the game not bringing us back quick enough. Like, I've paused instantly there. I may have been able to pit Mick if I'd reacted a split second faster, but Maloney was well beyond it, and he's the one who needed it more. So we've been absolutely done in there. But I can't actually even push the tyres thinking about it on restart. Thankfully, they're not actually called right off, but I'll tell Mick not to fight, because Maloney will still be fast at this stage. He's only got 7% worse tyres. This Stroll pit off his hards. He did, weirdly. Yeah, the annoying thing is, Maloney pits in 4 laps anyway. I'm going to say no fighting on this lap. Once DRS opens, I will say fight, because DRS slingshot will help them go forwards. But right now, there's no DRS, so there's no help attacking. Kind of want to see how quickly he gains here. Yes, he doesn't get close enough to make a move, really. If I'd left him on attack, he might have made that move, and then he'd been fighting all the way through here. It's a yellow flag. Hulkenberg's tumbling, but that's the limit. Just a lock-up. Again, Lico not having a good moment. No, he's just gone too deep. Terrible time to do it. A lot of positions lost as a result. I mean, he's back of the grid. Sainz on old hards is slower than us. DRS will be active. If we can get him more than a second out of the way, it will just be Piastri who's going to win this race now because of that game screwing us over there. Right, so DRS is back enabled again. So if we can get to a point on this track where we can capitalise, that'll be good. So don't fight him through here. He was Peter already, Hugh. Pay attention. There was a yellow flag warning there. I saw a yellow flag. Sergeant Van Ryden 4. I see behind the detection point. Take off, don't fight now. Sainz would have stayed just within a second there, but this might help us slingshot away from him. I say with DRS, you can make the move, for sure. Oh, come on, Mick. Don't fight each other. When I said fight, this is what I meant last lap. You were supposed to drive away from the other... Oh, for God's sake, Mick. You can see you were supposed to drive away from him. I was supposed to help you catapult away, but it didn't. See, Maloney's done it smoothly there. You had her ERS, though. You shouldn't really be pushing that fuel anymore. 1 full beans there. Okay, so Piastri's still with us annoyingly, but it has kept us ahead. And I just have to hope he doesn't attack him before the corner. Where is the Toledo right now? Yeah, Maloney's going to end up at the back of the grid. Maloney was stuffed either way. Mick I could have pitted, and I don't know. I can't really see a way to have pitted him without adding more pit stops anyway. He would have been in line with everyone else, I guess. That would have been the only benefit of pitting then. We dropped Sainz, interestingly. It was a fast pit stop, at least. At least he's beating 2 people out. Piastri's already past Mick. 2 more laps, Mick. How are you not staying ahead of anyone? Right, Maloney making move after move. It'll help his confidence, which doesn't need any more help. Yeah, the only saving grace is Maloney's come in now, and they're all on like 60% hards, which means it's the easiest of easy pickings. I think he's technically closer to the lead than when he pitted, but not by much. Big gap now to Sargent. This is where he's going to get the time back. But he's still got to pit one more time. I don't know what everyone else has to do. I suppose everyone else is going to have to pit at least once. Perhaps Sainz pits the same lap as Mick does, and he was on hards. Onto another set of mediums for Mick. 2 seconds. What a pit stop. Still behind Sainz. Sainz has got on softs. Come out ahead of Fittipaldi again. He seems to be the benchmark both times. Tick you on conserve now whilst you're behind Sainz and stuck in traffic. Right, so Maloney's scything time now in the train and through Albon. Now Leclerc. I mean, it's working out. Fuel seems to be taking a little while, but I'm actually a little bit confused because I thought they went on hards to basically replace a medium stint. So basically elongate that middle stint that Zane's doing now. Started, 4 or 5 laps earlier. I thought that's what they were doing. They burnt basically 50% of all their soft tyres in about 10 laps. So that was an aggressive hard they've all gone on. And I don't really know what they're doing. So maybe we've actually not lost out by maintaining a 2 pit stop strategy. Everyone else is doing 3 stops. So even though they had a free stop, it's not actually going to help them. Because surely they've got to do 2 pit stops. The only thing is, of course, we are out of sync, so we're faster now, but they'll be faster once they've pitted again. Is Mick still in Sainz's DRS? He is just. Okay, so Maloney's got a big gap to Stroll. She's not really cutting down too much. He's got it now. Just tell you to come off fuel conserve for this. because they're a bit faster. It is Verstappen. It is a wounded Verstappen at the front of this for Zane. It's lap 23 now. 5 laps off halfway, and he's got to get to lap 35 for another 12 laps. But it's crucial he picks off people here before other people catch up. Namely, Sainz behind. Deploy again here, Mick, as well. Oh, Zane, I need you to make a move. Yes, be the one to attack Verstappen first. Very one hard tyres. He might even go up the inside of... That was a 3-car overtake on one straight. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. He got Stroll at the start of it. He got Verstappen in the DRS. And then at the very end, nicks Russell. That's 3 cars, one straight. Don't Google that. And crucially, he holds Sainz up as well behind it all. Stop burning that and drive away from Russell as people start to pit again. Mick through Verstappen as well. Keeps him in Sainz's DRS, crucially. You can stop deploying for good measure. Ideally, he loses Russell. He has lost Russell, good. Might just deploy him again, because I know Stroll and Sainz and all that jazz are going to get past Russell here. So I don't really want them to close in too much. Mick did get stuck in that, so I might just deploy him through this section. Good. Crucially, gap to Sainz. Tsunoda now pits as well. So effectively, the only 3 that haven't pitted who pitted onto the safety car were Piastri, Bottas and Pourchaire. They're the only 3 not to go again. Now, maybe Russell and Leclerc, actually. And a couple further back. Basically, most of the hard runners haven't actually pitted again yet. But a lot of them are now on softs. Managed through Pourchaire. Wasn't even paying attention. As is Sainz. So this is a very interesting phase of the Grand Prix, because there's another incident again now. We are in a prime position to switch onto a hard and go to the end. Not with him. Zane might be able to make it work if he did it carefully. It's actually a very annoying phase of the Grand Prix, actually, because I don't know what I would do. And obviously, bear in mind, you'd have a few laps behind the safety car, which would extend it naturally. You might have to go light on them. Oh, Sainz got through Maloney, but I think it's because he's on a soft tyre. He's on a worse soft tyre, but he's on a soft tyre. We are closing in on... Oh, I was about to say Piastri. Because the thing is, a lot of them are pitted already, so if there is another incident, brief flash of yellow, and we're both in Bottas's DRS for a split second. So Sainz pits again. Piastri's on a soft. They have to pit again. This is what I don't understand. A lot of them pitting on tyres that definitely aren't going to make the end of the race again, so they all got one more pit stop in them. They're definitely doing 3 stops. So whilst Piastri's 7 seconds behind, we've both got 1 pit stop. This is all net race. Our drivers being in DRS of each other, they can just go past each other lap after lap and hopefully drag each other away. They don't fight each other. Okay, I'm going to need one of you to go behind here because you are causing problems to each other. You are fighting more than I would have liked. This is your optimal lap, is it, Mick? Go onto the hard tyre. Go attack on this one. Take off, don't fight. Get the overtake done. Now, Maloney, you don't fight now. You stay behind, Mick, and you go 1 more lap. Mick is kind of driving away. Maybe deploy a little bit. Well, you might just nick DRS there. You did not nick DRS. Oh, you did. Cool. Okay, so don't fight him. Fight Piastri, though. All right, don't fight Piastri. So this is still for race lead. I mean, bear in mind we're going to get an undercut on Piastri's last stint. It is optimal for Maloney this lap. It's not come up with that, but it is optimal for Maloney this lap. Deploying your... Oh, I've forgotten to actually recover fuel. Should be all right, but it comes back out in 8th, having completed all of his pit stops. And a lot of these haven't. A lot of them are probably going to go on a medium, though, at the end of this, I think. Judging by the tyre wears. So old softs, new hard, not up to temperature, of course, but I think if we clear Tsunoda here, it should be all right. Maloney's last pit stop before everyone else as well. Right, so mix through. Recover that fuel, Mick. A sub 2 second is second. Maloney's come out behind Mick. Come off your deployment here. Well, you're still going to have Fight teammate on, aren't you? Okay, you to conserve as well while you're getting things up to temperature. Right, so you're on worst tyres, Mick. Use this to your advantage. Stop deploying, Zane. Tyre choices. Tsunoda onto a medium. Pourchaire, Verstappen, Fittipaldi all pit. Onto mediums, I think. Stroll pits. That's a soft for Stroll. That's a problem. At least 7 seconds behind Mick. That is going to be a problem for Mick. He's still recovering fuel. Sainz pits for the last time. Onto a medium, interestingly. Piastri now pits. This is the crucial one. Piastri is only 3 seconds behind Mick. And 9 behind Maloney on another soft. He might be fast by the end of this race. Of course, if there's any incidents in the last 13 laps, we go on a soft and we're good. We're golden. Verstappen's issue must be ERS because he's not retired. I think I need to deploy Mick because he's fighting Sainz. Plus, we are conserving fuel as well, which isn't helping. The Bottas is yet to pit again. Bottas is yet to pit again and he's not closing in on him. Is Maloney having to lap people or something? Oh no, he's 1.4 seconds faster, so I don't know what's going on, Maloney. Taking off fuel conserve is pointing to go in 12 laps. We should be fine. Yeah, Maloney was slower that lap. Bottas' tyres had just tipped under 40%, and he was faster last lap. Is he attacking them? That's the only thing I can think of. All right, so it's given Mick the maximum just to fight that. Don't forget Mick started 5th, so being 5th isn't the end of the world. And he's going to have Stroll maybe come through him in the other Red Bull, who seems to be competent in a way that Daniel Ricciardo isn't in the other McLaren anymore, despite the fact it is, you know, Lance Stroll. So despite the fact we maybe were screwed by the safety car, we seem to have gotten away with it for the most part. Well, let's go to another set of softs at the end here. I've got to, surely. All right, point 2 for Mick as well. Let's come off there, because Maloney's got his back. The good news is actually, realistically, Piastri and Stroll's tyres will go off, and Mick's won't. And he's holding on to DRS on Piastri somehow. Mick might be slower at this stage, but his tyres will... Yeah, Mick's only got like 10% wiggle room on these tyres. Stroll's not going to make the end of the race on those, for sure. Don't know about Piastri, he's got 6% better off, and he might be okay. Sainz is going to be fine as well, on mediums. But Maloney is 65% mediums, is only just going to make the end. So Stroll on 69% nice, soft tyres is not going to make the end of this race. Stroll's going to collapse at the end of this, I would have thought. Mick's just lost out on DRS this time, so Stroll will get him. It was fun while it lasted, mate. Bottas finally pits. So Mick's back up to 5th now because Bottas has finally pitted. Softs. Use softs though, I think, which is probably why he had to hold out. So Piastri and Sainz both through Maloney. Sainz might win this, you know. Maloney's got the tyres to fight Piastri. Yeah, Stroll's tyres are going to go off the last 3 laps. Piastri's are just going to be okay. But you can deploy. You've got a tiny bit of fuel to burn. We know how this story goes. We've seen it before. You're going to run out on the line, aren't you? Oh, we're getting close to lapping people as well. It's the other end of the straight. Maloney's still in this, despite being screwed over in that pit stop. I don't really think it changed anything too much. Could have maybe done another soft and then made these 2 mediums less perilous. Leclerc's a good fault that might should take him out of the race, depending on what that is. Leclerc is last. Both Ferraris have just imploded this race. Magnussen's done fastest lap. Why is Magnussen done back-to-back fastest laps? Maloney is catching the front 2. We've burnt the extra fuel though. Sainz has decent tyres, is my only concern. So Leclerc actually just retired, which bizarrely actually frees up the chance of lapping anyone. Mick has 50% tyres and there's 2 laps to go. He's got to catch Stroll, whose tyres are going off. They did identical laps last time, basically, so Maloney, if you continue to deploy, you might get in this DRS train. So Maloney just kind of played possum for a bit there. Just let everyone fight it out between themselves. Okay, so we're on 40% ERS at the start-finish line, 32% ERS at the start-finish line. I'm slightly concerned that Piastri's the one behind on this final lap because I think it's his tyres that are going to be suffering, well, with being soft tyres and all. What's the gap to Stroll? 1.6. You can deploy from here, probably push the tyres from here as well. Use whatever's left of them. You can full attack these tyres, Mick, and now you can deploy as well. It's going to be tricky for Mick because he's not within DRS by this detection point. We should be looking at Maloney here. Both have DRS, but Piastri's struggling to hold on. Maloney puts his car on the inside, doesn't force anyone off. See, it is possible to make an overtake there without pushing another vehicle off the road. Sainz is going to win with his better tyres, essentially. But it's still a podium. Oh, Mick hasn't quite done it, unless he can make a move. Yeah, Maloney's more than a second behind here. DRS is irrelevant, the line comes quick.
That's the checkered flag.
Mick Schumacher, the man that you are! Have you done this? He's done it. Well recovered. Thankfully, the tyre wear has essentially saved our asses there. Because not pitting kept us on a 2 pit stop strategy. And everyone else still had 2 pit stops anyway. So it was largely irrelevant, the fact that everyone pitted. Except for maybe Sainz and Piastri. Well, Sainz didn't pit, actually, of course, did he? So aside from Piastri and Stroll, who kind of kept up there, the only 2 that really benefited from that were Piastri and Stroll. Sainz was on a 2 pit stop anyway. He started on a hard and pitted at the same time as Mick did. Sorry, he did a 3 pit stop strategy anyway, even though he didn't pit under the safety car. Magnussen did 4. Don't know why, but he did 4. Yeah. Unfortunately, he couldn't convert pole, but it's only second off. Mick Schumacher gets Max Verstappen in the championship because both Ferraris imploded, which absolutely clears us. We're still beating McLaren because Daniel Ricciardo might as well not exist. I feel so sorry for Danny Rick. I don't really know what's happened to him in this save, this particular year, because he was fine last year. What amazing pit stops they were for us, for a change. Still need to engineer a win for Mick somewhere along the line. Well, that explains it. Front wing fully completed already. Mexico, we are predicted 1st and 2nd still. No one's added a new piece in the meantime, seemingly. Pressure's on. In what may be my best ever practice weekend, we have not only given Abby Pulling a run out in P1, we've also got 100% whilst navigating rain. Thankfully, it's dry from here on in. It is a practice session only slightly undermined by the fact I used the wrong engine for Zane. And indeed forgot to change the gearbox as well for good measure. I now realise gearbox is less of a problem. I'm a tad confused by these times that are coming in. Mick is not safe. I'd argue that Maloney's not safe either. People are just doing lap times all over the bloody place. I have no idea when to actually send my vehicles out. This is as late as we can probably leave it. Still feel somewhat safe. Could have left it a lot longer. It's already been pushed down to 18th. This isn't an improving track. Rubber's gone from low to normal. I can see that already. Hopefully this is just a virtue of track improvements. Maloney's down to 10th already. I don't know who's actually on the flying lap at this stage. It's carnage. People are just all over the place in terms of lap times. Albon ahead on track appears to be moving. There's an Aston Martin that's not, which we will get stuck on in the worst part of the track. Wounded Porsche may be worst of all here. But Hauger in 11th does imply this track certainly has improvements, because I'm pretty certain they were down there to begin with. Someone else just moved. Sonoda? Alright, that helps. Checker flag down. Vesti, Russell and Fittipaldi are all done. Ricciardo is coming into the pits. He's done as well. What is going on with Ricciardo at the moment? We are going to catch the Aston Martin now. So the slow part of the track to begin with, so I don't know how much of a hindrance it'll be, but it's Maloney that's caught it, thankfully. And he's the one that didn't really need to do anything. Mick's fine. He's not caught this. Oh, he's actually still gone up to 5th as Maloney. In fact, Mick's now taken 5th as well. 1 millisecond apart. Safe. Russell's out. Is Dragovic on track? I think he might be. He might have just got caught on that. Although, actually, both might be going. Dragovic 14th. Sargent 14th. Vesti on the bubble. Hulkenberg next. Vesti out. Magnussen was on track, but he just didn't improve. Porsche didn't either. Okay, so we got through that one then. Just about. Did require us to use 2 sets of tyres, which is not ideal. Maloney's time is strong on the useds. Mix isn't. Can I get away with Maloney here? I think I can. Hulkenberg's just finished his lap and he's only gone 11th. And we're on board to make sure he can get through to Q3 here. I didn't really want to use another set of tyres, but Hauger is 9th and Sainz is 10th, which shows you all you need to know about this session. I do think Maloney's probably fine. A lot of people are just starting a lap now. I think Mick's actually going to have a clean lap. I don't know about that. RB could be a problem later in the lap if it's not moving. Sonoda's on the Lin lap. I hope that's not Sonoda. Oh no, he's actually in the pits. That's a lie. So we're actually completely fine with Mick. No issues of anyone getting in our way. Faster first sector. You do actually love to see it for a change. Although I think he was sabotaged by Lance Stroll, who came out of the pits literally in front of him. Didn't get him on the corner, but it might have forced him to lift off earlier than he intended to on the straight. But sector 2 is faster, which is also a good sign. That takes him 3rd. They were a millisecond apart our first time round. Now they're 100th apart. So, in theory, Q3, they'll be a 10th apart. And actually, Maloney's fine. There's enough people already completed with their laps. I think Verstappen just got in all sorts of ways of Djokovic there. But no, they were both going. Sainz takes 1st in this, but that's largely arbitrary. Hauger 11th. Actually, arguably is better for them. He saves them a set of soft tyres, which we now don't have with Mick. I've ended up taking an interesting strategy with Mick. I used the same tyres from Q1. So now he'll have 3 sets of tyres that have 1 set of usage on them. Oh god, people are coming out at random times again. I think I'll go now. Messed up with Mick there, didn't send him quick enough. Maloney's caught on Bottas. That's going to ruin his lap. Is that enough for a gap to not get ruined by Bottas?
We need it.
Is that enough for a gap to actually be beneficial from Bottas? How close do we get by the end of this straight? That dirty air territory, which we're now alright in, of course. I'm slightly worried we're going to be in the situation where we get a hell of a first sector. It's probably purple first sector, it is. But then we're just stuck in dirty air for the rest of the lap. I think there's a better first sector at least, which is good. Because there's one more straight here, so as long as there's enough for a gap to that, we might be okay. Even if dirty air, whilst we are first, obviously, we've had the big regulation change, so we're still not overly great at it, we're just the best at it. Checker flag is down. Stroll is done. 1:14.3 essentially to beat. It is a slower second sector, that dirty air probably not helping. Mick faster in both sectors. Bottas doesn't move. Maloney takes pole by not a lot. Mick only goes 4th. It wasn't a 10th in the end, it was 4 tenths. 3.5. I don't know which one of these is coming next. It is Leclerc. And then it is Piastri. Leclerc doesn't improve from 9th, which is a... Piastri doesn't improve either. Are they both on in-laps? No, Tsunoda's still going. Just Tsunoda left then. The Ferraris could easily be 9th and 10th here. The 9th and 10th. Gasly's 6th. Audi's back. You really think I'm going to do a 1-stop, do you? Even a 2-stop with all 3 tyres is faster. I'll bin the 1-stop, that's soft to hard. The 1-stop, taking it carefully, is faster, apparently. I'll bin that strategy as well, because it does seem to be utterly pointless. 2-stop with an aggressive medium to begin with to get him the undercut. Could be a play. It only has got a soft tyre in the bank. Apparently it's faster to just not be on a soft at the start, but that seems to be... that feels like a lie. But he can do soft, medium, medium if he wanted, which is faster.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. Mick Schumacher a composed figure approaching this one.
What a day for them, starting on the second row. Holding on to fourth will be a challenge in the race, though.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. What will happen next? We're about to find out at the Mexico City Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
I think Karun's voice line there might be based on the overall 21st, 22nd situation, the bugged prediction, rather than the individual track first and second prediction. Because obviously, if anything, Mick's underperformed. He's down to 6th already. What are you doing, Mick? Well noted, by the way. Stroll, I think, who was actually on the second, started on a hard. He's down to 5th. That might have been the problem, because I think he got caught behind the hard-running Stroll, and everyone who was on the other side, on the odd-numbered side, went past. So he's got Stroll back, thankfully, so that's mitigated his damage, essentially. Oh, that was like I say, that's a ballsy overtake, but you know what? I think his aggression is a lie. He makes much more aggressive overtakes than his aggression implies he would. 3 people on a soft tyre here. Interesting. So Mick should, in theory, just drive away from Stroll because he's on a hard tyre. He's not going to, but in theory he should. First DRS is actually the one that's on the back of the track because the detection point for these first two is, of course, before the checkered flag, checkered line, start-finish line, whatever you want to call it. Mick, right. There is a train starting with Sainz. Piastri has not been dropped by the soft-running Maloney, which I don't like, if I'm honest, but Sainz has. There's a two-way fight for the win here, seemingly, between Piastri and Maloney. My only saving grace here is that Maloney's smoothness, perhaps, and our car's smoothness, its tyre preservation, actually holds us in good stead here. Actually, I will just bring Mick's tyres back down to temperature as he gets on the outside of Sainz there. Both Tsunoda and Mick get Sainz. Both have DRS on the next straight, so get to drive away. Piastri overtakes Maloney and is now 2 seconds down. Sorry, I should have watched that highlight. He's absolutely shoved him off there, hasn't he? And I've not realised. I'm going to need you to deploy again here, Zane. Mind you, Mick's dropped right off Yuki as well. I think they might just be going for it, those two, Yuki and Oscar still. Because I can't really explain what's just happened there. Maloney holds on. Just get DRS again. No. As Sainz gets Mick back again. And yeah, Mick's the second off again. It's a little bit crazy this. I don't really understand. Stroll's down to 8th meanwhile. Yeah. I think Piastri might have gone for it. I don't think he might have shoved him off, but I don't know if that was entirely the fault. Because Maloney's now back in Piastri's gearbox. Sorry, I'm still deploying with Piastri and I realise that's probably part of it. Why deploy Mick from here? So he needs to get that second. We're first in low speed. How are we not doing that last sector better? Right, you need to drive away now, Zane. You've got DRS again. If you can make a second, that would be superb. Sainz got Piastri. Oh, that's helped. That's helped big time. Now drive away, Zane, because you're going to have to pit first as well, let's not forget. Piastri got Sainz back on that back of DRS, so that's going to be helpful. Them fighting each other. All right, stop DRSing now. You're in this fight. Who didn't have DRS there? Piastri. So both of us have got past him. And Mick's now fighting Sainz, which is only going to slow him down briefly. Cut the gap to Zane by a huge amount. Get a flag. Crash. Not anything more than that. Actually, if anything, this could actually really help if I tell Mick to not fight. If he gets in DRS range, this is going to be really good for Mick. He didn't get in DRS range. This is 6 ways for the lead. Lap 11. We've not had the train of safety cars that we had, I think, last year, this track. Or indeed, at Singapore. This episode. No one can seem to hold on to the lead. Fact, actually, not fighting teammate is probably hurting Mick here. Oh, because I've not gone on attack mode. I'll get him on attack mode now to cancel out the fact that we didn't actually put him on aggressive. Mick Schumacher in the lead and, briefly running away from it. Build up the gap, Mick. Optimal pit stop, apparently. Go on your hards. Give it another lap. You've given yourself that space, actually, here. Pitting next lap, actually. And then he's not kept up with the front runners. I don't really know what's happened there. But he's so far off, I might even start conserving him now. How, whilst Mick is attacking these tyres, has Piastri caught him? Thankfully, it was the lap he actually pitted, so... Oh, he's had a slow pit stop. It's only a second, so it's not awful. Not the worst thing in the world, but it's still a second more than he would like. I actually can't see what the fault was. I think he's implying front left, but I didn't really see what the problem was. It is slow, but I guess he was probably aiming to be like a 1.9 pit stop if it wasn't for that. So Mick pits and he's still in 10th and holding everyone up as a result. Get your tyres up to temperature, 11th. Serve now as well. Got a lot to get back. We haven't done any for the first 18 laps. Usually, because we go half full or take half out, we can usually get it back in half a race. I was expecting more incidents than I have. Right, so we've not really gained while getting tyres up to speed. Temperature, I should say. Oh, we're still deploying, I now realise. Tyres now up to temperature. We're taking them off aggressive. And now it's entirely up to DRS overtakes, which Mick has available to him, but decides not to take. Good one, Mick. That's it. Burn the rest of these tyres. Might actually be pitting first here, Maloney, because he's on a soft tyre. Oh no, Piastri's coming same lap, which is a bit irritating. It only actually comes out... I'm sorry, there's a hell of an undercut for Mick. Same number of pit stops, I forget, but Maloney's on 2 sets of mediums here rather than a hard. Mick is 11 seconds ahead of Maloney. 34 ahead of Piastri. That's still an undercut. Yellow flag. Stroll's on a hard tyre list when I get. Sainz pits now as well. Please tell me Bottas and Gasly haven't pitted, because we need to get past them. Sorry, how has Maloney ended up behind Gasly and Bottas? Stroll finally pits. Mick's in the lead. We've undercut Mick into the lead. Admittedly, Sainz is now on his tail on a soft tyre. On a soft tyre? Maloney's only just about capable of doing soft, medium, medium. Sainz started on a medium. Or soft. Actually, did Sainz start on a soft? No, he did start on a medium. That implies he's either got hard to go onto, or he's going to try a risky medium. Because Maloney's only just about capable, and he's got effectively 100 smoothness right now. And our car's the best at tyre preservation, so that's a wombo combo there. Maloney's only just about going to do it. There's probably no real point fighting Sainz as he comes flying past. But Mick, have we accidentally done a blinder with you? I know you're going to fall backwards because you're on a hard tyre, but you can't stay in DRS, which is the huge problem here. We can't really do much about it because we do need to get the fuel back. Maloney is now... Actually, Maloney's like shaving lap time off Mick, but not really catching at a fast rate of knots. As soon as he gets a slipstream, he'll get him. But, in fact, Bottas got Maloney before Maloney got Mick. And now they're both in Mick's DRS. Interesting that Bottas is on a hard tyre, though. So we started actually recovering on lap 18, thereabouts, with Mick. He was on -6 at that point. He's now at -2.3, which is over half in 20 laps. So it's going to be 58 for another 20 laps to get another 2.7 essentially. So a little less than 20 laps, 16 laps or so, 54. Yeah, we've got a little bit of wiggle room to come off fuel conservation. We wanted to maybe push things for like 3 or 4 laps just to give them a bit more of a fighting chance to maybe drive away from people, in theory. In fact, Maloney's behind on this lap, as is Mick. If I can deploy away from Bottas, that would be great, who just shoves Zayn off the track, evidently. I don't know why I bothered. Bottas must have shoved Zayn off the track there because he was deploying and then suddenly he was like 2 seconds behind again. No point even trying, Mick. Actually, no, Mick's back in DRS range, but I need you to get that fuel back. Just a yellow flag. Alright, we'll watch it because I'm not really showing you a lot of this race just because mostly I'm disappointed, but please tell me that's not Lewis Hamilton. I think it was Lewis Hamilton. Oh, it could have been Russell, actually. They're both there, so I don't know which one it was. Have you got any bits missing? Have you got any bits missing? Neither of them seem to have any bits missing, so I don't know who was the one involved there. That helps. Russell has a penalty. I was going to say, I didn't see the yellow T-cam, which is obviously Hamilton. I thought it was Russell's non-luminous yellow. So Sainz did go onto a hard tyre. He went early, of course, because he was on a soft before, but Leclerc pits, that's going to be an undercut against Mick, unfortunately. And now he's going to get held up with Stroll as well. Optimal pit stop for Maloney again. Burn what's left of these, my friend. Come off, conserve for these two. Comes back out in 8th ahead of Leclerc, so he doesn't actually get the full undercut there. Although that doesn't help. Why do they come out so slowly? Go aggressive to get the tyres up to temperature, please. And deploy. Build that gap up to Leclerc, please, because I need you to do that. What lap is you? Next. So go full attack, Mick. Go back onto a medium. Not really had any safety cars or anything like this lap. Get you back on conserve Maloney at the end of this next lap. Oh, in fact, actually, we've got Verstappen in the meantime as well. I might watch that replay because I didn't see that one coming. So Verstappen on a hard tyre now. Maloney with mediums up to temperature. Zooms by. Maloney was on pole, let's not forget. And now, in fact, he's going to undercut Piastri and Bottas at this stage because he's going now. What's the to leader? 22. He could undercut the leaders if he's lucky. So Mick back out in 9th. That's all his pit stops done. I thought we were actually onto a winner there with Mick, but seemingly not. The hard tyre really did actually drag him back in the end. Get these tyres up to temperature, Mick. Stroll pits. Still comes out ahead of Mick. Tyres are now up to temperature. Come off fuel. I'm keeping it on to leader because I want to see every lap that Piastri doesn't pit. Because I am confused about what he's doing. They must be going on a soft at the end. They might be doing medium, hard, soft. I think we can come off fuel now. We do appear to be the only ones on a soft tyre, right? Medium tyre other than Stroll. I'm kind of hoping that these lot just pit. Oh no, Gasly's already pitted. As has Sainz. How have we done so badly at the track that we were supposed to be first and second at? Maloney is 17 seconds off the lead and Sainz has pitted twice. Undercuts were massive here. Even if Piastri goes onto a soft now, I think we've got it, but just because laps remaining. Right, there goes Bottas. Out of curiosity, what did Bottas go on to? Oh, new medium, actually. 11 seconds behind Mick, who started no, he started 4th, actually. Mick really needs to get to Gasly, which again, 14 seconds. I don't understand what they've done. I don't understand this race. I think we'll still win another one before the year's out, but was Gasly going faster? Oh no, Maloney's overtaken him. Maloney was going 2 seconds faster. Mick, however, is doing the same lap time as Gasly, there or thereabouts, and he is on a medium tyre. Mick, can we... If Stroll's not going to go for it, can we close up on Stroll? You could deploy here a little bit, Maloney. Just drive away from Gasly, who might just get slipstream even though he's not got DRS. I think we might have got Gasly while lapping someone there. Because there's a Haas in the background. Let's move a little closer to Piastri, who still hasn't pitted, by the way. I think they're a little bit confused with Piastri because he's sub 30 now. I'm doing 1:22.7s. Piastri is a full 3.5 seconds slower. He has to pit now, surely. Right, he's gone now. Good. We've got the fuel back as well. Yeah, just realised that. Draining his full batteries only kept Mick on pace. Oh no, wait, he hasn't crossed the line yet. Yeah, he's at 1:19.5. He's only kept him on pace. Stroll's still gone faster, even though Mick was draining his battery. Stroll might have been draining his as well, I suppose. Yeah, he seems to be actually catching Leclerc quite quickly. And on a fastest lap, so... Don't really know what's happened to Mick there. No, he is catching sights. I don't think Mick's going to get to Gasly. I don't know how they've done it, considering Sargent's 11th, so this is entirely based on tyre strategy. Somehow it's worked against us, and I don't really know how. And now we're drifting away from Sainz because we've got worse tyres than him, because we're on a medium and they're roughly the same wear rate. Same level of worn, I should say. Also, we might be lapping people. Yeah, Sainz has run away with this. Mick's only 2 seconds behind Gasly now, in this final lap. I think, Mick, you're going to have to go all out, my friend. As Piastri just fastest lap. Still 4 seconds behind Maloney. I don't think he's not going to catch him. But, in fact, he's got Stroll for company, so I don't think he's going to. But, Mick, I need you to catch Gasly. Has his tyres gone off? No, still 47% hard, so I don't really know what the problem is there. You can also deploy from that. It's going to be a ballsy move, Mick, if you actually make it in time, but he doesn't make it. Barely even catches on the last lap, despite deploying and everything. 6th for Mick. It's not amazing. We started 1st and 4th. That's genuinely the first disappointing race of the year. Properly disappointing race. There might have been another one, but I'm not happy with that. I don't know how that one's run away from us. We were supposed to have the best car here. Great for Audi, though, actually thinking about it. 10 points. That's it, really. Doesn't help them, but it keeps them ahead of Mercedes, who are 9th. That's ridiculous. Just quietly going on in the background, the fact they're 9th. Didn't even get good pit stops. That's the worst thing as well, because Mick was 6th. I'd rather he'd be 7th, frankly, because we'd have to pay him 120k. Like, if he's not going to challenge, then... Incidentally, if you see these dots on Mick and Zayn, I'm assuming they're because their contracts run at the end of the year, but we've already sorted that situation out, of course. ATR period opens. It's just going to be research from here, of course. So doing research on front and rear wings now, because we haven't done any, because we've been so busy actually making. That should finish just in time for us to actually get the third, like another round of 33-day pieces, with obviously engineers reducing that in before the end of the year. So we should be able to do another set on, say, suspension, chassis, whatever, that normally only take 33 days. Anyhow, it is Brazil next. It's the last... Anywho, it is Brazil next. It's the last sprint race of the season, which we'll couple with Las Vegas. Once again, actually catching up to real life. Circling around again. But 2 years in the future now. Then we have to deal with the mystery of Bahrain. If that doesn't work, we'll just have to delete it entirely. And then we'll have either 2 or 3 race finale, depending on that. So, 2 more to go this season in terms of episodes. And then from next season onwards, because we have won a race now, I don't know what the videos are going to look like. I think no matter what happens, I'm certainly going to reduce the pressure on me in terms of how much I need to do to get one of these done. Hopefully maybe speeding things up a little bit to get through more seasons. So, might start simulating races rather than... We'll see how it goes. But anyway, until next time, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, do like, comment, subscribe.